Get the show ready. Reel it up. Oh my God. I can't believe what I'm getting right now. Start it up, Pepe. Start it up. Start it up. Oh, hello. Hi, everyone. Hold on 1 second. I can't. Oktoberfest, you are defeating me. I must. What's up, B-Rad? How you doing? Welcome to the Inside Star Citizen Review. I have finally cracked open the Sam Adams Oktoberfest, which is what I'll be drinking tonight with everyone. I hope you've all got your bevy of choice. This is a fave of mine this time of year when it gets to late summer, early fall. And it's one of my faves. And we are going to be watching some Inside Star Citizen tonight. I have no idea what to expect. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Xerxes DG. Talking and all, what is going on right there? Oh man, that scared me. That type of alternate reality DG is pretty scary. I apologize, but my legs though. Did you see my legs in that reality? Kicking, totally kicking. All right. So let's see what we have in store tonight. Thanks for joining us here live. If you're not here live, don't worry about it. This is why I ship these highlights off to YouTube. You guys can watch them, but you're missing that first level energy. Say hello, everybody who's here live, to everybody on YouTube watching. You definitely, if you're watching on YouTube, you smash the likes, you do all the algorithmic shit so that we can be number one. That's all you should be thinking about. How can we get this community to number one? You smash those fucking likes. You share it with everybody. If you share it with your sister, if she's 10 years old, it doesn't matter. She's like, I don't like video games. Tough, sister. You're gonna watch tonight and you're gonna like it. All right, let's see what we got here.
Hi all, me again. As we continue our journey towards Digital Citizen Con on October 9th, with the juiciest updates being.
This is a wild. I kind of like what's going on here. This is a very, very wild Jared right now. He's just like free falling. You know what I mean? Like total, 70s. I imagine Jared just hops on a Harley after this. You know what I mean? Right. He's getting on the Harley and he's having a good time.
Saved to hit you all at once like a Moab from a Hercules A2. We're once again taking the opportunity provided to us here at ISCR to learn more about the people here at CIG outside of the normal design, art, and programming disciplines. And this week, we turn the camera inward and learn about the person who's shepherded ATV and ISC through the highs and lows since 2015. Yes, the one person who manages to pull it all together week after week.
So do we have like another Inside Cloud Imperium episode? Is that what we're doing? We're getting origin stories again. We're getting like the Inside Cloud Imperium episode. That's okay. I like to know who works at Cloud Imperium. I hope we get some gaming stuff, though. I definitely want some gaming stuff. Is there a sprint report here? Do we have a sprint report at the end?
Week and does so with an infectious energy loved by everyone that works with him. So sit back, relax, grab a beverage, and enjoy our next origin story.
All right, then that must mean people want to see how these videos get edited. Well,
this is the editor.
It starts with a brief from marketing or production.
Oh, so marketing and production, and this dude's like, okay, cool, I got to edit the shit. I'm learning something new here because I always thought Jared was the editor. I always thought it was like a one-man show and Jared was just slapping this shit together. Well, it's nice to put a face to the editor. By the way, what's this gentleman's name? Do we know this gentleman's name right now? Justin. Now listen, Justin, I will say this, Justin. Please, the audio levels Okay, can we just, we've had issues with audio here, haven't we, fam? Everybody knows how I get pissed off with the audio levels, right? Because this is who I want to talk to then, because he is actually doing the editing. So Justin Chambers, just be careful on the audio levels, all right?
In that epic gameplay footage, cue the music, and we all know the title.
I think I remember this dude, but he looked a lot different.
So
Wasn't
I grew up
he
in a small town where nothing ever really happened. And if you didn't want to be in sports, or you didn't want to be a doctor, a firefighter, or a police officer, there really wasn't anything for you.
Okay, now I would like to pull the audience right now. I would like to pull the fam here and put a 1 in here if you guys would want to save this for some other type of like if you guys want to know about the Cloud Imperium employees on like maybe inside Cloud Imperium games, maybe there should be I appreciate the people that work there, but I'm not quite sure if it should belong in Inside Star Citizen. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure if this is, if you guys want like a separate series talking about the employees, then press 1. If you guys are okay with this, press 2. So that's kind of like, I think, like personally, me, myself, like, I don't think it's a bad thing. Like I like to find, out who's working there, but like, I don't know if it's for Star Citizen, Inside Star Citizen or not. We got a mix. We got a nice mix here. It's nice to see. We got like a 50-50 and then Erad throwing a 42 in there.
And I think that's what led me to movies, to plays, to books. It was a way for me to escape. And I still remember when my mom bought me Jurassic Park. Mine was video games. I'm Costa Rican, so I thought this was real. This took place off the Gulf of Costa Rica. These people sent this video because they need help. And shame on my parents for letting me think that for so long. But it wasn't until they bought me the making of Jurassic Park that I realized people did this for a living. And it was in that moment that I realized there was nothing else for me. Did I think it was gonna lead me to games? No. But that's the great thing about my job, is you really get to live so many different lifetimes. I still remember to this day when I got this job at Cloud Imperium. The first person I met was Chris Roberts.
Remember Donnie? Remember when Donnie, the one of our dudes in the community, he'd been hanging around us forever, and then he got employed by Cloud Imperium. Remember how excited? Every once in a while, Donnie Be Good stops by here. I love Donnie. We know a couple of the devs, and they stop in from time to time to watch with us, and I always love when they do. I haven't seen Donnie in a while, but do you remember how excited Donnie was when he got hired, dude? He was like lit, but he was like talking about it for like 3 months, man. He's like, I got hired. Like every stream we had, Donnie was in, and he was like, DG, I'm gonna be working for Cloud Imperium. DG. I was like, cool, Donnie. It would be an awesome job. It would be an awesome job.
Not in LA. And I was like, hey, Chris. And I'd known Chris from his film background, but never a game background. So it kind of was this moment of just like, that was cool. And then I get into this conference room. It has been
look at young Chris. Hold on. A young
background. So it kind of was
so much swagger, so much chest hair poking out the 80s plaid button up. Look at that young man gonna conquer the world. Look at him bright-eyed and geekified. Look at him.
There's this moment of just like, that was cool. And then I get into this conference room. It has Ben, Alexis, Jared, and a bunch of the other video production team at that time. And I was feeling pretty confident, So I headed out, and I will never forget Jared chasing after me out the door, waving me down like your favorite rom-com movie. You'll probably tell this story differently, but I remember he chased me down and he's like, hey, watch ATV episode 54 and I will call you tomorrow.
Yeah.
It could have been 45. I don't know. That was a long time ago. And it was in that moment that I was like, I got this.
Let's see, Justin.
Yeah, that is him. That is crazy.
Editing a brand
I thought I recognized
ATV?
him.
I feel like I learned how he used to do it, and then we changed everything. So it really does feel like day one all over again.
Some of the more eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed that in our hangar lighting improvement sneak peek, Hanger was spelled hanger, not hangar.
Sorry.
Well, no, I'm the captain of that ship. I have to take responsibility for the members of my crew. So that was Justin's fault.
A day in editorial is no joke. I can come to work and on Monday I'm a programmer and by Friday I'm a designer. I'll come in the morning, I'll do the editorial kickoff. Amanda, what'd you get up to last night?
I played some video games last night, so it was pretty fun.
Good, nice. Ryan, what'd you get up to?
I grilled up some burgers and dogs.
An ISC alone has been being planned for months. You have Jill, Jared, they're looking at the roadmap, they're putting together briefs on the best way to present these features to the community. And then once they go out and they get the interviews, they bring those into editorial. I saw they sent over the footage for ISC. Ryan, did you get that?
Yeah, the footage is downloaded and I replied to the handover. And then I have the A segment project prep for you, Justin, and the B segment for Amanda.
Okay, cool. Amanda, after I...
Yeah, Erad and Leaf and I, who are content creators now watching all this together here amongst the fam, we all know how fun editing can be, right? How many times have you wanted to slam your head into a desk? Right. Leaf's like, dude, I never stop recording.
I finish the A segment narrative, I'm going to hand that over to you because I'm going to move on to a trailer.
Cool, and then I'll cut the B segment and then set an in session on the calendar for Thursday before we start the cut.
And we find the story there. And then once we have the story, we're doing B-roll capture, music, to just present the feature to you guys in ISC in the best light. Then we have things like trailers with Ship Showdown. So yeah, let's zoom into that section right there where the graphic is. And yeah, is back, and turn that off. Cool. And even things that are coming further down the pipeline, like the IE, and I'm telling you, we're gonna have so much fun with Jax this year.
How about, could you actually imagine getting paid to do that? That's crazy. I mean, we kind of do, Leaf, but you know, we get that YouTube money, so it's not like we're really getting paid, you know? 17 hours of editing.
But what I'm really excited about is Citizen. Because the idea of doing something you've never done before, a completely digital event, and wrapping your head around how to just bring this epic convention to your living room is just what makes this job so awesome.
Digital Citizen Con coming up, man.
It's amazing to kind of
should
look
be interesting
back and see how much the company
right,
has
Jay,
grown,
right.
But also
it
how
warms
you've
my heart.
grown throughout the process. And when you've been somewhere for so long, like I've been at Cloud Imperium, you can't help but change.
Leaf.
Tyler's gonna be the question reader.
Go ahead. You're in charge, Tyler.
All right.
Take over the show.
The number one question I get asked is how to get into editing for games. And honestly, a lot of people focus their attention on the wrong things, in my opinion. They
Drink
focus
a
on
lot.
the tips and tricks, like jump cut your talent to edit what they're saying, or for effect, or the fade down, the fade up, or the wipe. You can learn all those things. What you can't learn is POV. That's point of view, and everybody has one. And if you want to get into editing for games or filmmaking in general, you have to find yours and you have to grow it. And the only way that's going to happen is by doing. So my advice I give to anybody wanting to edit for video games or just edit in general is to cut.
That's who we were talking about? Show's running long. Let's get to the sprint report.
Okay, here we go.
Last week, we showed you a look inside 3 of the new hospitals coming online for Alpha 315. And eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed a 4th snuck in there, along with the upcoming space clinics. But the team in Montreal is also working on additional hospitals for other landing zones, such as this white box tour of Maria Pure of Heart in Lord.
The Nina and the Pinta are going to be in 3.16, just so you guys know. The Nina and the Pinta. What, Pepe? That was a dad joke. Okay.
Lorville. And even in its early state, you can see the influence of Lorville's architecture and severe style that's likely to set it just a little bit apart from its fellow facilities. You can see here a first look at its lobby, and of the ward rooms further in. Now, as we've mentioned, hospitals are the forebearers of new player healing mechanics and all the changes they will bring to life in the persistent universe, and the first major contribution from our expanding team in Montreal. And if you want to know,
I would like to be the first dispensary. I would like to I would like to run the first dispensary in the verse if we could do that. That way when people wake up and they're injured, they're like, "Doc, blunt me." And it would just, everything's fine. I'm going to create an organization just for that medical gameplay.
Even more about that team, be sure you check out last week's Star Citizen Live, available now on YouTube, for your first chance to meet several of the folks blending new locations and gameplay throughout the Stanton system and beyond. Work also continues concepting the shape and style of hacking ports, soon to be found throughout the persistent universe. Now, previous thoughts leaned heavily on the squared fold-out box you can see here, but the team wanted to see if they could make them maybe a little...
All right. Of course, we've got the keys right now with hacking, but I'm telling you, I want hacking to be so difficult. I want hacking to be so ridiculously real, like down to the code. Am I the biggest nerd in the world? Like, am I the only person who wants that level of realism into hacking? Like, I really want it so deep. Like the hacking, I really have not played a game where hacking has been hacking, and that would be fucking ridiculous because your skills as a hacker would be in demand and you would get paid big bucks to be a hacker because you would literally have to code that shit, and that would be the most pure... Listen, that's so purist. Like, I understand what I'm saying right now is going to probably hit a lot of the people who play Fortnite very wrong, but that's okay because that's what I'm trying to do here. Like, I wanted to be right. Look at this. The fam is in complete agreement with me. So, listen, I know Cloud Imperium watches occasionally, Chris, occasionally Jared, occasionally some devs. Get the word out. You want to start, baby origin, 1.0 mode with like, a Disneyfied kind of hacking thing that we got. I want to upgrade this. By the time hacking 10.0 is in there, I want us to like literally have to know code to hack. Like, and most of the family is also agreeing. Dutch is like, I don't want to do what I do for a living in the game. Tough, Dutch. Deal with it. Deal with it.
Less intrusive and more compatible with the variety of areas one might find them in. So this second round of work focused on a recess design that can pop out of not just the wall, but any floor as well, opening up far more places that they can be found. The team is also exploring iconography that will help players identify these particular panels when on their travels, as well as further refining the variety of hacking chips players may need depending on the task at hand, complete with little carabiner hooks. Give me a keyring I can wear on my belt, character team.
Cool.
Ultimately, hacking aims to provide more complexity and a variety of options.
Yes. Did you hear that? Hold on. Let's listen to that again. Hold on one second, and we're going to listen to that in very slow motion here. Hold on here. Okay, I heard something very interesting about adding more complexity. Let's just listen to that in slow motion.
Ultimately, hacking aims to provide more complexity and a variety of options and
Okay, let's just play it a little bit slower so that we make sure we're hearing this correctly. If we could just play it a bit slower here, Pepe. Thank you. Let's do it.
Wear my belt, character team.
Tell us.
Ultimately, hacking aims to provide more complexity and variety.
Yes, more complexity, yes, from hell. All right, great. Like, I'm not quite sure the variety of ways. What is wrong with me? I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, let's keep going.
of options and how they tackle a situation, and we'll be learning more about the gameplay and how players will interact with these terminals next quarter. Up next, let's jump back to the Nix system with a look at some of the flora being developed for the various services we showcased several weeks ago. Starting with this agave succulent that's broken into smaller component stages, starting with ground scatter to base plant.
Christy would love this shit.
And she then flowering stalk.
She's all about gardening right now.
Now, as with ships, this is the white box stage for these plants, used to validate proportions, silhouettes, and such things like potential variants.
Christy, look, see, you don't have to worry. These things are growing virtually, and it takes a lot less energy, and deer will not come into your garden area and eat all your tomatoes up. So that is a plus on playing Star Citizen, Christy. This is my girlfriend I'm speaking to right now. She literally grew like these 4 pots of tomatoes. It took her like 4 months to grow these things. And in one night, deer came in and literally ate every fucking tomato she had. Now, see, honey, this is why I play video games. And this is a lesson to be learned right now. You can buy tomatoes at a grocery store, Christy. And then you can grow them here. And if you have to worry about any type of space deer here, you'll blast them. You just blast them, okay?
We also have these aloe plants, which should come in super handy because of all the sunscreen you'll need, because of the dying star. And that's Pyro. It's not Nix. That joke doesn't make any sense. And Justin is clearly spending his time overseeing the edit of his own segment, or he would have cut this. Moving along, underneath those plants, a sprint was recently completed on some of the new geology assets that will be sprinkled across the surface of Nix 1, such as these smooth layered plateaus. What you're seeing here are several different class sizes, from small to large, straight out of the Houdini software suite. Now, once they're properly integrated into Game Engine, systemic features like terrain color pickup and biome accumulation will alter the assets, further blending them into whatever area of the planet we happen to find them in. There's also these sexy modeling shots here. I'm gonna call this one Bam Bam, this one Barney Rubble, and you can be Fred Flintstone. You complain, but these jokes are my bedrock.
Oh.
All right, let's move on up to a pterodactyl eye view and take a look at continuing development of Nix 1 height maps. Now, for those of you familiar with the lore, this particular planetoid is supposed to be heavily mined for its valuable resources, so the environment team began creating additional height maps for some of the older, more heavily affected areas throughout its history. Now, these are first-pass explorations in Substance Designer, but they'll continue to evolve before eventually being incorporated into some of those amazing ones you saw in previous weeks. Moving along to ship and vehicle updates, the Drake Vulture continues to progress through its white box stage with these early looks at...
Yes, more industrial ships. Yes, very excited about the Orion, very excited about the Vulture, very excited about any new industrial ships. Dig it.
The upcoming salvage ship. And in vehicle interfaces, let's check out these updated concepts for a potential Drake-specific heads-up display. Now, there are multiple artists making multiple pitches, and this is just one of them. But the group responded pretty well to the overall aesthetic shown here, and it reminded several folks of old Russian military helicopters. Whether this...
My friend Good Games would approve of this heads-up display. He is very fond of old colors show.
This or a different concept goes forward remains to be seen, but it's always exciting to peek behind the curtain and see what's going on in the land of user interfaces. And then, of course, we're heading into the biggest ship event of the year, and preparations are already underway for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2951, with these looks at potential logos for this year's event. I like the one with the swoosh. Finally, before we let you go, we have 2 Crusader-based updates to share this week. The first being the continuing development of atmospheric pressure damage for vehicles and people. You can see here the basics of the system at play. As the player character moves forward, the pressure increases.
All right.
And then the same here with vehicles. Now these are just the designer effects at the moment, but now that it's working, it'll move to VFX in a few weeks when they have schedule before making its way into the persistent universe proper.
I got a lot of questions now.
And lastly, because it's been too long since I previously mentioned space whales, the character team has been exploring these micro concepts.
Oh shit, this art always gets me, man. Yeah, like after hearing what I just heard about pressure, I've got like a bajillion of fucking questions after that. A bajills. This character, this fucking art that they do, man, always hypes me up. Like when I see this, man, like
exploring what gameplay might look like for players when the mighty storm walls make their way to the...
Yar, I'd be killing up space whales and making space oil to sell it on the economy. Yar, take this harpoon. Ah, ah. I'm not going to be petting any barnacles. I'm going to be freaking Captain Ahab on our side, dude. I'll be setting out to find me space whale. Yar, yar, there you are. There you are. My neighbor's probably like, there he goes again. I know my son always gets worried.
Clouds across Crusader. So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that Drake is well on its way to making a big splash with its new salvage ship and fancy UI. That new career opportunities are coming for those who want a workspace with a lot of fresh air and squishy whale blubber under their feet. And that I've worked with Justin Chambers for 6 years, and if I'm lucky, I've got another 6 years ahead of us.
That's cool.
So don't forget, the first round of Ship Showdown is happening right now. Check out the robertsspaceindustries.com website for details, as well as the next iteration of Xenothreat. It's happening right now in the persistent universe. So jump in there and give those jerks from Pyro the business. For Inside Star Citizen,
played a little bit yesterday, had a blast.
We'll see you all next week.
Listen to me. This was okay. This is one of the best one that they've ever had here, because this is what we do after we watch them. But you know what? It was cool. Got to see a little bit that got me excited in the sprint report at the end. Got to know a little bit about an employee that's been there for 6 years. You know, the thing is, you know, it's a discussion to be had. You know, I personally think they should do some type of like series that talks about like the people working there and showing the work that's being done, and called Inside Cloud Imperium, Inside SIG. I don't think that would be such a bad thing, man. I mean, that would be super transparent. I don't know how many employees would be open to that. I know if I say that, some of these employees are going to be hiding from the cameras, but I don't think that would be that bad of a thing, because, you know, like there's sometimes I'm wondering certain people, like what it is that they're up to, what their tasks are, and just call me nosy. But when you got like $400 million into a project, you kind of just, you know, wondering, hey, did you catch that email? Are you, where are you at right now? How you doing? What are you up to? Let's check it out. So I don't think that would be that bad of an idea to do, you know, like some type of maybe smaller series. Doesn't have to be lengthy, showing like different people inside the different offices doing what it is they do, the talks that they have. And like, you know, one of the things I would like to hear about Justin, or from Justin, is like how he feels about what it is that he's doing in terms of like the efficiency, how effective he feels that his team and himself are in the Cloud Imperium landscape. Like, you know, like what are the issues with are there any issues with communication? What are the problems that he runs into with his job? Like a discussion on maybe what could help him improve the work that he does. That is really, I think, an important piece that should be talked about if they continue on with other people in Cloud Imperium and they're talking about their jobs. But anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, you know, thanks for chilling out with us. But we are going to the after party now. Everybody in the chat here, get ready. We're going to have fun at the after party. If you're watching on YouTube, you better have pushed the like. You better have shared it with everyone. And better be here next time live. So peace out, YouTubers. We are going to the after party. Pepe, switch it over to the after party. Do it.